Is that what you're connected?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or would it be more appropriate to just say the Archdiocese of Edmonton?
Oh, please don't ask me to say Archdiocese, because someone told me that I cannot be Catholic because I cannot say it properly. It's too much. Archdiocese, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Whew. I was asking myself, what's the purpose of my life? And definitely I discovered that this is to be someone who is serving others. Mm-hmm. In Poland, where I'm from, there is this final exam after the high school. And I was kind of medium student, not very good, but not bad as well. I believe I was lazy in some points to study. But anyhow, I asked Jesus if he wants me to serve him, to pass this exam, or give me a kind of a sign that I will pass this exam quite well. And it happened, which was very surprising for me, for the teachers, and for my parents as well. That was it. When I was preparing for this exam, I was able to go for the Mass every day. And I heard the voice, like when Jesus was calling the apostles, there was the gospel. It started to be obvious for me that this is something that I'm called to as well. I remember this very well, that I asked my dad, he was driving with me back home from a meeting with the sisters, and I shared with him that story that I really think about the religious life. So he said, okay, I'm fine with that, which I was very surprised with. But he was also sharing with me the story with Mom. I haven't seen her for a few days, and he said, she's not feeling that well, so maybe don't tell her yet about it. Of course, I couldn't keep it in myself, so the next day I shared with her. And she got so upset, and she then turned my dad on her side. So at one point I saw that it's pointless to talk to them about it, because they were not able to accept it at that moment. It was hard for my mom as well, because as I spoke with her, she couldn't understand that someone can be happy not in marriage. It was 3 years of really hard time for them to agree for that. And then when they started to see me in regular life, and then they saw us happy, they saw us laughing, they saw us crying, and they said, oh, you are still normal. There's nothing really that changed that much, except for the different kind of life. This is something that they took as a part of life for them as well. And they are happy with me now. Yeah, definitely. So I believe fear is something that is kind of on our daily life. Yes, that's something, and I feel it a lot at sometimes. So yes, there were moments that I was afraid. Okay, you were doing this, and you jump with your whole life, whatever you have inside, and you jump into this life. So first and foremost, this is a discerning, yes? This is the moment that you don't have to say for the entire life, yes, you go into the religious life. Of course, you think about it. It's the same with the marriage, yes? When you meet someone, you think, okay, we can meet, we can date for some time and discover, is it really that what I'm looking for or not? The second is not to be afraid, just give yourself fully into the religious life or to the marriage, because we have so much fear in us. We are, I believe this is the time that people are so afraid of making the final decisions. Trust in the Lord that He will help you with that as well. He will find a way to overcome all those fears of lacking of something in your life, or, having those issues with your own character or something, that God will help you, that He is there. He's the first one. All of us, we read every day the Bible and then some readings from different saints. I discovered that when I'm reading something and I kind of put this into the words of Jesus, let's say that he's telling me, do not be afraid. He does say that. But then if I take it personally, it helps me a lot to go through life and to it helps me, that kind of prayer that makes it very personal, helps me to grow in faith and to be hopeful for the next day or even for the next hour. We all are called to motherhood and fatherhood. This is something, even though you're alone, you still should be. So we are the sisters for each other, but also we become in one point or the other a mother, because we listen to each other and we help with some problems or with difficulties, and even the talk can be something that someone needs, and it doesn't have to be a child to become a mother, to feel that way. This feeling of the heart and of your mind and of your soul, that you are with those little ones or with the older ones as well, that is something that makes you mother, that kind of shapes you as well. The stone, to become a figure, has to be shaped, it has to be cut, and sometimes it hurts. So I believe this is on both sides, but especially with the mother. She feels lots of pain because of being a mother. It doesn't have to be just the pain of the birth, but also with the moments that the child is growing. So I believe all of them, they are challenging. Why? Because they are beautiful at the same way. So the vows and all the religious life, I feel now, I can say that I'm able to get up in the morning. But there were times that I was not able to get out of the bed, even if someone would drag me out of it. And so it's a challenge on one side and at times, and then the other, that's something that is so beautiful, to get up in the morning and to give this time to Jesus. Prayer life, it's so beautiful, and it's something that you feel fulfilled, you feel 100% a person during the prayer time, but it also, you can feel so empty. I feel so empty sometimes when I pray. I don't feel anything, it's just being, yes. The vows, exactly the same. Poverty, for me, it's beautiful, but it's also hard when you say, okay, I don't need it, or someone will tell you, you don't need it. Chastity, again, it's beautiful, it's amazing, but it's challenging, as your nature says something different than you really want to. And obedience is it's beautiful, because sometimes you say, okay, I will follow the rules because that's I'm obedient. It's easy. And on the other side, it's so many times you say, no way, I have to. It's both sides always. I see this constantly. Wow. I didn't. That's the obedience as well. So usually we write 3 names on paper and we give it to our superiors, and they usually choose one of those. And I believe my names were, I had a big meaning behind it, but they were kind of weird for them at that point. And they said, no way, we won't give you any of those. So then, you stand in front of the people from both sides, like the priests, the sisters, your families, and the chapel is full of people, and then you say your vows, and then you go to your superior, and she's giving you the name, and then your name. I'm the second one, and I get the name that is different than what I wrote, and we all know what we wrote because we were discussing. That was a big topic about it, and I hear the voices of the sisters. They changed something happened. That's wrong. No, it was so surprising. But I'm happy, But it was a big surprise. Saint Raphael, he helps me a lot with the young people, because he was helping Sarah and Tobias to get along, to be together. And that's what I see. That's my purpose in this name is, yes, God is healing us. He gives me the healing, that's first and foremost. And then maybe through me, he wants to heal someone. Life is sacrifice, it's so obvious that we will have a cross. Either you choose being alone, you be in a marriage, and you being as a religious, it's a sacrifice. It's something that it's going, so you better accept it at the beginning, because that's what happens. And when you accept it, it's easier to you to go through it. I fight with something that I don't like. I can show it, I can be upset, but it will happen. So maybe it's better to kind of be positive towards those little sacrifices, those things that are not your ways. Accept it, and it will be much easier. Everyone who is going through the marriage and who is in the family sees that that's a sacrifice. For mom to get up from the bed a few times a night to feed the child, for the father to work, for the mother to work, for them to upbring the child. It is a sacrifice. So just kind of get along with this, because that's life.
Don't hide your faces. Don't hide your faces. You want to see your faces?